Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to talk about Telcoin's next big moves as the team has continued to build on Telcoin and map out the future of what digital cash and kind of connecting with telecoms look like. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital, and thank you to those who continue to support the channel. So I saw this tweet from Telcoin, and it basically says this is going to be part of our daily lives, not just ours, but everybody's. And this is from Patrick. He had a message and he was in an interview. So let's go ahead and play this clip.
This is going to be so ingrained into us at this point that I don't see anything really pulling anything back in terms of the progress that we have in the crypto community have made this far, at least on a policy level. I don't see anything that's just going to tomorrow it's just all going to go away. We've come too far. The United States government's come too far. It's by the time things get rolling really well, this is going to be a part of our daily lives, not just ours but everybody's. And I think it's going to happen a lot faster than people realize. This is
Yeah, so that is a great message. Like he's saying basically crypto is going to be a part of our daily lives and it's going to happen faster than people think. And from a Telcoin standpoint, what does that look like? Digital cash, using the digital cash on a daily basis. It's going to be kind of a regular norm for people, and stable coins, and being able to move money fast at fractions of a cost. That's the key there is to save on the cost. Crypto trading. Over time, just like stocks, crypto trading is just going to get more and more ingrained into the average everyday user because it's going to be kind of the new norm. Just like back in the day where not many people were using the internet, and then all of a sudden we went to Web 2 and then to Web 3. So there's layers to this. And another way is being a bank and connected to other community banks and customers. That's how Telcoin is going to be able to leverage this and have this be a part of more and more people's daily lives. Partnering with telecoms and the telecoms connecting with their customers. Again, as we get more and more into kind of the crypto mindset, and even the government is on the same page with us, it's just going to bring more and more customers because if the government is talking about it too, they're going to be like, okay, well, if the government's talking about it, then we feel like this is a place or a safe place where we can dabble in, do some crypto investing, maybe work with some digital cash or stable coins, things like that. So great message there for by Patrick. And then kind of hopping over, and forgive me, this is just kind of all over the place, but I'm just kind of going through some different points. Another button topic is exchange listings, and this was a great proposal here by Mr. Hamilton on the in the Telcoin forum. But the short and sweet of it is putting out guidelines in which we should approach tier one exchanges for listings. So he gave some great examples down here. He's basically breaking down how much tail would need to be used according to the price. So as you can see, as the price goes up, you're distributing less tail to the exchange. So that's kind of the mindset of the Telcoin Association, and they want to prevent like kind of less sell pressure, if that makes sense. So as opposed to right now, let's say for example, they try to they try to get on an exchange right now. Well, you're going to be issuing a whole bunch of tail at the current prices. Maybe if I had to guess, maybe 400 million. I'm just throwing a number out there, but as you can see, you get the point. But this allows the Telcoin Association to be prepared for when the listing comes. They have it all here written out, so all they got to do is once they hit a certain price point, reach out to the exchange and get it done. So props to them for kind of putting this together, and they kind of talk about the budgets and some other stuff. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but the thing is, this is put out there for people to understand, and feel free to come on to the Telcoin forum and leave comments and stuff like that. Let's see, what else do we have? So again, crypto becoming part of our daily lives, like we mentioned. And there was in the latest Telcoin Association meeting, they were talking about marketing. Marketing has been a hot button topic. People only think, oh well, Storm is only going to do little these little templates that we can use online and stuff like that. Well, there's more to the marketing. So I want to play a clip here. I'm going to go to the
Try and
40-minute mark. Let's see if I can find it.
world from Stan. Name
Let's see.
Stan were 48 thing.
Yep, there we go.
The coin or the dollar sign tell, right? So the ticker, and then Telcoin, the word with a hashtag. Those mentions went up by almost 40% in the last 48 hours since that was released. So I mean that's you can't. And then the images being put out, images with those as well went up another 20%. So I mean I understand where people are coming from, but understand that this is a cumulative effort. This is not just one thing. That is not the that is not the end all be all of what they're doing. If you haven't had a chance
Yeah.
to go listen to the the last platform meeting where Geo from Storm talked about what he's working on, please do, because there's some really exciting stuff in the pipeline. He mentioned, they are interviewing KOLs for Telcoin that they're going to hire specifically for the association. We mentioned commercials. He mentioned there's all kinds of really really cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline, and
Yeah, so that's a great point. So, from a marketing perspective, again, it's not just going to be like the little infographics or the little messages that they created in that repository. They're also going to be reaching out to KOLs. KOLs are pretty much people with large followings, large followings in crypto, specifically partnering with them to get the message out. So, Storm is going to be hiring them on behalf of Telcoin. So, and a lot of these people get like a lot of engagement, so that's what it needs. It's going to be community effort. Community is going to have to continue to pound the pavement, get the word out, continue to share the images that were created by Storm, but also they're going to partner with KOLs because that's what's needed. We need larger voices to also help, and some of these KOLs will be putting out tweets on different social media platforms. Most likely they'll be on YouTube, giving YouTube videos. Again, the more reach that we can get, the better. And also commercials. Matter of fact, I love when Telcoin does this because they've done commercials themselves in the past, kind of put something together in regards to Telcoin. But doing something like that will again create that buy pressure that we need as far as doing the commercials and again letting people know that we are legit. And going back over to the forum real quick, there were some interesting things in here. There's a lot of stuff. Let's see. There are quite a few things here here they're basically talking about temporarily pausing the current reward system to make it fair. So I'm on board with that. I agree. We want to make sure that the reward system is fair and something that everybody that can kind of participate in. So, for example, and this is the reward system within the Telcoin app because the short and sweet of it is we want more people engaged on the app. Whether you are referring, whether you're trading, whether you're doing missions, that's what they're talking about. Creating different missions within the app to have you more engaged with the app. But looking at Andrew's proposal here, short and sweet, essentially he's kind of broken it down into tiers. So volume based rewards, 65%. And then here looks like base participation, equal share to all wallets that meet a minimum active threshold, and then referral bonus. Yeah, bonus rewards for successful referrals and long term staking commitment. Yeah, because we want whether you have like 10,000 tail or whether you're somebody that has like 50 million tail, we want it to be kind of equal distribution. But it also not only does it encourage someone with like 10,000 tail, but it also encourages somebody that has maybe like 50 million tail. I'm just throwing a number out there to be honest. But again, this is a great write up and post within the forum. Blue Lights also has something out here where he's kind of talking about having a mission based system. The goal is simple. The more usage we have in the Telcoin app, that's just going to create more and more volume, and that's what we want. So more to come on that. But again, I like this structure, and I think it will shift the community to more positive sentiment. So I kind of like here what has been proposed. And then let's see if there's anything else real quick that I want to take a look at. Let's see what else do we have. Yeah, here I like this proposal. Pretty much, this proposal is basically stating getting like a golden check mark. The golden check mark is more for community security, so that you don't connect to like a scam on X. So, and also the cool thing about getting the golden X, so it's like 200 a month, but you get advertising credits. So by doing that, you would be able to promote Telcoin through this budget also. So I like that. So this would be smart to get kind of some of that premium membership if that makes sense. So again, like what do we talk about in this video? We talked about Telcoin being in our daily lives and crypto being in our daily lives. We talked about the different ways Telcoin is going to connect and be viable in the future with the digital cash, with the trading of the different crypto assets, with being connected to telecoms and their subscribers, and again with the banks connecting to the community banks. That's key because if you're a small community bank in like Nebraska or wherever in the US, you instantly helping them get onto the blockchain and process. So that's a game changer. We talked about the exchange listings and how we want to utilize the least amount of tail to get on the listing to prevent any bad sell pressure. And it just also kind of helps with Telcoin's budget also. And then we talked about marketing, how that looks with Storm and them eventually going to have commercials and them going to be partnering with different KOLs with large followings so that we can get the message out and increase engagement and increase that buy pressure on Telcoin. So everything has to be kind of like that perfect storm, again, kind of play on words. Everything has to be the perfect storm. And again, like they mentioned, the main Telcoin product is not out yet. So we want to make sure that all that's out, and then it's like full full steam ahead, if that makes sense. And then again, the rewards based system that's going to help Telcoin and it's going to help the users because the users are going to be rewarded for using the app. They're going to be getting more bonuses, going to get more rewards. It's going to be more fair as opposed to the current reward system where some of the top traders are getting all the fees and kind of leaving like scraps for others. So I hope all that made sense. And then kind of doing this backwards. I don't even think we even talked about the price, but here's the price: 0.004, up a little bit over the last 24 hours. So right now, again, there's been kind of a downward trend in essentially what's going on with Tail. Far as it's been a downward trail, it's been a downward trend in the market as a whole. As you know, Bitcoin is down, Ethereum is down, so that's just kind of weighed in heavily on the market. But up a little bit over the last 24 hours. As you can see, engagement is down, so we want to make sure more people are talking about Tailcoin. Mentions are up, so more people are mentioning it. Creators are down, so more people are putting out less Tailcoin content. So we want to get those numbers back up. So, and again, that's kind of how it goes. We are sitting at a $428 million market cap. Here's the volume. And again, lastly, look out for that Coinbase update. Keep checking Coinbase until we see Telcoin listed within there, because they are slowly ramping up and adding more of those coins from the DEX and moving those coins over to Coinbase. So I've been checking it daily, and I'm going to continue to check it also. So I hope you gained some value from this video. I want to thank you for listening, and thanks for stopping by.